Alistair Lynch will be captaining the Bears for the first time since 1994. A break, back with more right after this.
It's Glenn Freeborn coming off along with Matthew Armstrong. They've still got a few problems here. They're trying to get the stage off the ground, as you can see in the right forward pocket. And so there'll be a slight delay. Champions got Carey, so that's as expected.
There were a few concerns down there for the Bears. Nathan Chapman went to pick up one of the smaller players, but he's been forced at this stage to go back and man up on Capuano, right back on the goal line.
Bartlett's on Scholl, so Scholl playing up forward again as the interchange. Armstrong, Danilchenko and Freeborn in the middle. Again, this stage being held up to try and get it off the ground.
This is one of the other brilliant innovations here, that scoreboard, which is quite spectacular and easy for everybody to have a look at.
Stuart Anderson on his own in defence, and I think Andrew Buse a change there as well. Plenty of atmosphere here on Friday night football. A mighty roar goes up. Brisbane to the right, Clark McKernan. We've been waiting for this for a couple of weeks now. After their brilliant start to the season, Clark got highest. Roberts got a hand on it. McKernan tried to crash his way through, so did Roberts. He was thrown to the ground and gets a free kick. So the man who played for the Bears in their very first match against North Melbourne wobbles it in the Carey direction. Capuano was in the front spot. Lambert cut off Bell. It's at half-back. A toe poke by Lambert finds the boundary line. The best result in that position, out of play, about 55 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Robert Scott and Craig Lambert. Scott running with him by the look of it. The front was Clark. Free kick to the Bears.
Well played, Lambert. Just didn't quite take possession of the ball.
And then kicks to centre wing, trying to get to Clark. Good hip and shoulder. It was an excellent bump by Clark on King. Handball over was good to McAdam. To Fletcher. Tried to torpedo punt, it was smothered off the boot. Bell got a handball away. Scholl's high ball. Back to centre half forward. Carey behind Champion. And did get over his shoulder a bit. Free kick to Champion.
Advantage has been paid, and the Bears have got the ball nearly down to the wing with Lappin. Lappin off the left foot into the pockets, not bad. And the mark is taken there by Alistair Lynch. Hand pass goes to Kennedy. Kennedy, a long bomb. It's gone from a long way out, but it's punched over by Glenn Archer for a behind kick by Matthew Kennedy. So the first score of the game, a behind to Brisbane. North Melbourne yet to score. The Kangaroos have had the ball nearly up to their full forward line. And Anderson to do the kicking in for the Kangaroos. Spectacular night here at the Gabba. Short kick has been marked by Roberts.
Handball to Stevens. Into the centre. Carey getting rid of our Champion fairly. Off the ground by Scott. Missed by Allison. Quick kick by Simpson. Well played by Chapman to get back. It was good football to Dick Foss. He's got Ashcroft wide and finds him. He's got Fletcher on the loose. Finds him at centre wing. Right in front of the 7 commentary position. Now it's coming back to Fletcher. So hard to relay it back. Not sure why. Rock to come on the mark. So Fletcher, tremendous year last season. Big possession getter. That's a high ball at about 50. Dion Scott front spot. At the back was Ian Fairley. Taken by Voss. Tries to take one on. Left-hand handball. Puts hard under pressure. Squeezes a kick away. Not far. Taken by Stevens at half-back.
Stevens, the short kick wide towards the boundary line. Anthony Rock has taken the mark. He plays on quickly. Kicks to a 2-on-1, advantaging the Bears on centre wing. Fletcher first back. Tries to shrug the tackle. Not bad. Dick Foss to McAdam. Can he break the tackle? Held, didn't have the football. Maybe just a little bit fortunate, but played it pretty well in the finish. McAdam, we have another look there. Now he goes in short. Still the Bears persist in attacking through that forward pocket. A high ball back towards the middle, and that could be a mark. It's been paid to Fletcher. Second in the champion player last year, away to Lappin, straightens up and then goes long. It's a good kick. It's a beauty. Out of position was Martin, and Lynch is marked about 15 metres out directly in front.
It's one of those situations there. Mick Martin often plays 3 or 4 metres in front. Maybe the Bears have been instructed that if he plays in that position, you've got to drive the kick long. And every now and again, a player like Lynch will have the sit, and that's exactly how that situation eventuated.
Well, big chance for the Bears. Lynch must capitalise here. He does it straight through the centre.
Captain with the opening goal of the match. Clark McKernan. Again, Clark gets his hand on it. Fletcher, another possession to centre half forward. Hart back, but a strong mark by King. Give off to Stevens, who's playing across there at the moment. Stretch was very, very good by Allison, and then neatly inside, but too far for Carey. Shoal off hands, goes back, sets it up for Scott, floats one to the pocket. Bell back, good mark. Looking to give it off, goes short. Roberts on a much better angle. We're right behind this kick.
I think if you wanted to be critical, the Bears player, the kick coming in from Allison perhaps should have been marked by, I think it might have been Darryl White, wasn't it? That went for it basically by himself.
You back Roberts from here. Good finisher. He's got it. Quick reply by North Melbourne. So Brisbane a 1-1, North Melbourne a goal.
Yes, really, as you said, Robbo, the drop mark set up the chance for Scott to receive the hand pass, and really once the forward line was unbalanced, it was basically just a scrappy kick in, but Peter Bell has been able to basically on the end of it, and the quick kick to Roberts. Good conversion, good even game in this first 5 minutes.
So Clark having the better of the centre ruck duel so far, but this bounce favours McKernan. Gets it back, Fletcher, dispossessed by Allison, runs with the footy, carries it in front of himself. Carey tries to flip it out wide in the favour of Roberts. He does well and gets rid of Dick Foss. Now Robert Scott, kick not all that brilliant. Scott gets it away to Fletcher again. Fletcher's had 4 or 5 possessions already. His kick goes high towards the half-forward line, but it's chopped off by King. King off the left foot. Kicks directly towards centre half forward. It's knocked away well by Bartlett. Picking up the crumbs is McAdam. He's got to kick blindly and high. Lappin from behind, crashes his way through, couldn't take the mark. Fletcher, important touch. But North Melbourne, rock to Anderson. Was that a throw? Now he's being given the free kick for holding on, but it's not rock, it'll go to Anderson. He will be asked to come back and repeat the dose, but gee, Rock's little passage of play to get it into the path of Anderson was just a little dicey. Anderson kicks high. Free kick. North Melbourne free kick. It will go to Capuano. Holding on. Capuano only 25 metres out. Pretty well straight in front. Shouldn't present too many problems for Matthew Capuano. Dipper told us that not all that much breeze blowing, so that's not a concern. Nothing's a concern. He's converted and it's a goal.
Clark, Lambert, handball, didn't go far. Scott getting it out, but again chopped off by Ashcroft. Lambert, McKernan's hip and shoulder missed him. Ashcroft tackled by Roberts from the front. Allison, bit of a wrestle going on. Nothing in that between Scott and Lambert. Good smother again, this time by Buse. The shepherd by White to help out. Buse kicks to the space once the line finds it at right half forward. Notice McKernan's changed the angle. The centre bounces after Clark had outreached him early. Now coming more from a side-on direction. We didn't get a good look at it that time because of the poor bounce.
He's going to do well if he can just break even in the centre bounces, because that's really Clark's strength.
Clark again, Archer, Lambert, Bell. getting a couple of touches early to Simpson, to Blakey, goes long as normal. McAdam should have taken it. Champion did the hard work for him. Scholl got a high one or in the back, but no free kick. Bartlett to Voss. Normally very cool, goes to Chapman. Important that Brisbane don't make mistakes at the back. Chapman finds Kennedy. Kennedy goes long to half forward. Hart caught underneath. Nice stretch. Good safe mark by King. Kick wasn't particularly good. Didn't give his forwards any hope at all. King at half back.
King went one way, then goes back onto the right and finds Archer. Only about 3 metres closer to his own goal, but at least North Melbourne have got possession. In towards the centre. Clark was up high. Buse picks up the crumbs and Mungrel punt kicks towards full forward. Another mark dropped down there by the Bears. The ball spills out now for Roberts. Roberts is behind the centre line. The little kick into towards the centre. Not bad. Anderson sets it up. Laidley gets past. Off the right foot. Kicks towards full foot. Well done. Brilliantly done by Chapman using his body. Looks to run away. He's caught. Should be penalised and will be. North will get the goal. No, he may have missed, so the kick will come back. Chapman not happy.
Well, you know what Chapman's done here? He feels that Allison's given him one, and he's gone to tell him off. Not playing on at all, really. Well, he is stiff.
Yes, he was a little stiff, but the umpire's not to know that. He saw him go 3 or 4 metres off the line. And one thing you've got to be careful, we often say, if you've got the free kick, you don't let the opposition do anything to you because you've got the ball.
Well, the result may be a justifiable one because Anthony Rock has missed. And we'll have another look at what Bruce was talking about here. Well, mark one mistake down to the umpire. The kick in has been marked by Buse. Buse is in the left back pocket for the Bears.
Goal the difference. Bartlett, who's had a very fine start to this season. He's come on in leaps and bounds. He was a raw Colt last year. He's still a Colt, but he's not quite so rough around the edges. Clark's stretch and mark was good at half-back. Still to centre wing. Now Bell. And it'll be interestingly, we were told last week that Robert Walls had told Richmond that that side of the ground was shorter here at the Gabba, and most of the players been out there. The weather, 16, expected to get down to 9. Pear-shaped ground here, and the pocket closest to us on the screen is the wider one and the longer way home. Kick back towards the centre square. Champion in front of Carey. McKernan taps it on. Rock gets a free kick. North getting a few, but in front that time, deserved it. He's at 50. Would have to produce his best. It's there, Carey with a little shove, and paid. 50-metre penalty, but against Champion, and Carey kicks the third.
There were a few of those at the ball the other night. Blind umpires, weren't there, Bruce? How could he miss that little nudge out by Carey? John Northey just giving instructions, and Scotty Clayton maybe indicating that he's a little frustrated. But still, the score's on the board. North Melbourne lead 3-1 to Brisbane 1-1. The bounce in the centre. Robert Scott. And a free kick is going to Brisbane. Is the advantage going to be paid? Yes. They get the ball to full forward. A good lead, a brilliant kick. And the mark has been taken by Lynch. It may have been Voss, was it? It's a beautiful kick. Only took about half a second to set it up and delivered right onto the chest of Lynch, a chance to kick his second goal. He's kicking from about 45 metres out. It's close. The goal umpire indicating a goal. So Lynch, Alistair Lynch has kicked 2. I keep saying Alistair because we have Tristan Lynch, number 42 for the Bears, in their 21 tonight, but it's Alistair Lynch who's kicked 2 goals for Brisbane.
And Voss, lovely flat pass to the leading Lynch. A lot of changes going on the midfield. Stevens is trying to pick up Voss. Scott's trying to pick up Lambert, and accordingly, there's a lot of players changing positions to get the tactics the way they want them.
Lynch with a couple of goals. Brisbane back within 6 points. Clark, Voss, Scott on hands and knees to Allison. Wider still to Laidley. Caught up. Good tackling. Lambert, it was a hot one. Recovers. then goes to the pocket. Good fly by Dion Scott in the front and held on to it. He stretched from the front and made it very difficult for Fairley to get over the top of him there.
Very tall player, very big leap, wasn't it? And really the second grab. But again, if you're in the front position, the percentages are that you'll get the second grab at the ball if it's not a really effective, strong spoil.
This to tie the game. Halfway through the opening term. Kicks from 45 metres. Hits the post. Just fading through its flight. So 2-2-3-1 has been a very good start. I hope you're enjoying it at home on the 7 network around Australia. It's great being here tonight.
Maybe there is a little bit of bruise to contend with because a couple of kicks there just floating off to the right. Stevens marks the kick in. He's now been called to play on, is he? No, 50-metre penalty against the Bears. So maybe a little bit of misunderstanding there. Voss is not happy with Brian Sheen's decision there, but not much you can do about it. Stevens gets a 50-metre advantage and then kicks to half forward, flying up high. Oh, gee, that's a big stretch. Just watch McKernan because that may have been a bit of a hamstring pull. Dick Voss drops what he may have should have taken. Chapman off the ground, gathered by Champion. Handball away. Lambert, not all that cleverly off the right foot. Desperate stuff shown by Bartlett. Ball comes to the back now. Scott, his hook kick to the goal front for North Melbourne. Bears defence. Chapman plays the percentages and bashes it clear. Lappin couldn't quite control it. Fletcher out into the path of Lappin, close to the line. Handball. But the ball had gone over for a boundary throw-in. Just keep an eye on McKernan. He just looked as though he may have overstretched there going for that mark. And watching him, might have just landed a bit awkwardly on that left leg. So the boundary throw in on the far side of the ground. McAdam gives away a little bit of ground again. Buse nicely for Fletcher. Fletcher's high wobbly punt kick. Archer and White comes back to Lappin, dispossessed brilliantly. Voss handball over the top. Lambert quickly kick. It was a little bit smothered. Now this is King for North Melbourne.
Controls it pretty well. To centre wing to Simpson. To centre half forward. Capuano in front of Chapman, long way from home. Carey wants it now on the goal square. Gets towards him, he's in the box seat, he's too good there. You're never going to stop him in that situation. He made the run for Capuano. It was a pretty good kick.
That was a good sign for North initially that Capuano come up the ground and met the ball. In this first 10 or 15 minutes of the game, the Bears defenders have played in front, and the percentages are you must play in front, and Capuano got rewarded when he finally came to meet the ball.
Carey from 20 metres out, directly in front. It's his second.
Time McKernan gets first hand to it. Scholl, Allison gets his foot to it, and a second time. And just thrashes it towards the full forward line. It'll be allowed to go over in front of Danny Dick Voss. And a boundary throw in the left forward pocket for North Melbourne. Laidley having a spell on the bench. Danilchenko in the background, and Matthew Armstrong for North Melbourne. Boundary throw in McKernan, but Clark at the back. Ashcroft number 10, Fletcher. Little tap for McAdam. Desperate stuff shown there by Simpson, was it? And he's going to get the free kick. Well, he put himself in the right position. First of all, McAdam looked as though he was a chance. Then he just fell out right over the top in what could be determined as a very, very awkward and ordinary tackle. Simpson from 40 metres, maybe a little bit further out. Nice approach, lovely kick. North Melbourne have kicked their 5th goal.
And that free kick to Simpson is the advantage of the player going low. Both Simpson and McAdam approached the ball, but it was Simpson who dived and got underneath McAdam. And good desperate play, which will so often be rewarded by the player second to the ball, basically falling in top of Simpson's back. And that's what happened on that occasion.
Tennis Bagan must be pretty pleased to kick 5 goals to 2. Travelling well now, North Melbourne. A couple of goals from free kicks, but that was certainly there. Freeborn who's come onto the ground. Fletcher, another possession, inside 50. No free kick to Scott. King laterally and in fact conceding ground in the end. Out of play, left forward pocket. Marcus Ashcroft. Who's running with Glenn Freeborn at the moment. He's come on for Laidley. Need a steadier again, Brisbane. They found themselves in a similar situation to last week, just behind quality opposition. They were always trying to catch up with Richmond. I know they got there at quarter time last week and then hung around. There's McAdam, who's in a bit of strife there. McAdam is trying to shrug one off. So outside 50 now for Brisbane. White involved. Archer well played. Forced it forward. Blakey tried a little one. Fletcher back to Voss, normally constructive. Goes to the pocket. Lynch got caught underneath it. Scott had a couple of goes. Lynch with some body strength. And Stevens happy to let it run out of play.
Alistair Lynch and Ian Fairley. McAdam, we saw being attended to by one of the medical staff, but we'll keep an eye on him. Clark for Lambert, but it's kicked out of his grasp. Back towards half forward. Good strong play by Scholl. Tackled in the finish by Hart, but the umpire deems that as a 50-50, and he'll ball it up about 50 metres from the Bears' goal. They trail 2-2 to 5-1. Just didn't capitalise on those couple of chances. Opportunity for Bell. Throws it on his left foot out towards the wing. Punched away from Scholl by Kennedy, but Scholl was quick to recover. Throws it onto his boot. It lands at half forward. Capuano does well. Tries to tap it into the path of the captain. McAdam looks as though he may have recovered. Chapman's little left foot kick is pretty good. Lambert's on the end of it on centre wing. Lambert goes in towards the pocket. Martin and Lynch. Lynch provides the shepherd for Voss. Voss onto the left foot. Gets it back to the front of the goals. There's no one home. Anderson for North Melbourne. Punts it back towards the wing. Oh, top stuff shown by Champion. He plays on quickly. Kicks it towards half forward. North Melbourne couldn't take the mark. It was Archer. Scramble there by Bell. A scramble again at between centre half forward and full forward for the Brisbane side, and the umpire will call for a bounce. Marcus Ashcroft on the bottom of the pack. 5-1 to 2-2, and the bounce will take place about 35 metres from the Bears' goal. North Melbourne lead 5-1, Brisbane at 2-2.
Clark stretches over the top. Archer cuts it off. Roberts' quick kick away defensively to the boundary line, and North doing well here.
And basically, Roberts is going on to the ball after the centre bounces and McKernan's pushing forward, and the Bears have responded by pushing Matthew Clark into their forward line so that Clark doesn't have to play as a defender onto McKernan. So it's an interesting tactic against one of North's great strengths in recent weeks.
Roberts from the boundary throw in. Kennedy, Ashcroft, now centres. Lynch and Martin. Martin in the front spot. Lynch had a bit of it. Fairly at the back, straight to the line, out of play.
You still wonder when deliberate is deliberate, don't you?
Lepic and Ackermanis a moment ago stretching on the sidelines. Clark, high tackle on Fletcher, no free kick, he's a bit stiff. Umpire probably out of position. Scott and Bell had a couple of fumbles. Archer tries to crash through. It ricochets away. Goes again, Archer with strength. Back in the Allison direction. Now Bartlett takes on his man. Tackled. Kennedy gets his kick away. McKernan couldn't stop him. Inside 50 again. It's been there a few times. Scott couldn't quite. White tries to go through. Goes to ground. Voss courageously. A free kick to the Bears. He paid the first one to White. Voss came in quickly behind him. Or did he jump over the top, or was he true?
There was a free kick there. I think he may have seen Glenn Archer's hand being thrown out.
Darryl White kicks the goal.
Maybe Darryl White kicked the goal as a result of the free kick, but Michael Voss wasn't treated all that well by Ian Fairley. The bounce Clark gets a big fist to it. Fletcher runs through the centre. Goes with the left foot. Not a bad kick. Holding on, and it's against Lynch on this occasion. And the free kick will go to the North Melbourne fullback, Michael Martin. Umpire very much on the spot. Martin goes wide towards left half-back in the direction of McKernan. Big leap by Clark. Fletcher again. Can't get away from Allison, though. The ball spills free. Play on. Anthony Rock's kick towards the wing. Attempted mark by Bartlett. Ball spills for Champion. Champion goes in towards half-forward. Good kick. The pass hits Clark on the chest. Clark goes in the Lynch direction. Lynch just being a little bit out-bustled by Martin at this stage. Martin wins on this occasion, pointless. And Marks gets the hand pass away. Stevens, left back pocket, a high kick. Back towards the middle of the ground. Bartlett marks.
Goes to Lappin, good kick. At 60, Lappin. Lynch goes now. Lappin decides to go long, right to the goal square. Good-looking kick there. White one hand. Archer going well against him at the moment. And fairly pretty pleased to see it run over. Darryl White with a goal. He kicked 3 late last week, but Archer's played very well. Now, Gilbert McAdam's been in trouble with his ankle injury. You can see he gave it a twist there, the left ankle. That's the reason for his pain at the moment. He's still out there on the ground, but that's a good catch by the 7 camera. As we see how McAdam gave it a turn. Now Fairley's handball to Anderson, who's so neat at the back, kicking towards the centre. Rock running forward, getting some touches. Too far from McKernan for the moment. Chapman overran it. Bartlett's got to use his man. Got held on to, gets a free kick. So Bartlett holding them up at the back. Goes out wide towards centre wing. Champion the target. Carey was with him.
No mark. Hart swoops on it, gets it to Fletcher. Fletcher's left foot kick towards half forward. Good strong mark taken across that half back line by Fairley. Handball to Anderson. Anderson hooks the kick. Now the race is on. There's a few into this. McAdam's one of them. Gathers. He's caught. He must be penalised. The umpire allowed play to go on. The ball spilled free. Rock's kick towards full forward. This is an important bounce, but Chapman made it his. Then kicked it to the wing. Ashcroft, the handball. Further afield. White. Maybe Voss. No, he goes in short. Too short. He'll get it back. Give it to Voss. Oh, just chopped off by Allison. Close to the line. Voss has a chance again. Oh, brilliantly spins out of trouble. Could have nearly been tackled. Kicks the ball towards full forward. No mark taken down there by the big ruckman, Clark. And it goes over for a throw-in.
At this point, North have been playing the 3 big forwards, Carey, McKernan and Capuano, and their respective Bears opponents are just looking more mobile at ground level, so don't be surprised if there's a change in the North setup up forward.
Right forward pocket, deep into the first term. Lappin, good chance. Probably could have gone himself. Champion, it ricocheted away. Martin, Blakey, desperate. North Melbourne, hold it up. There's Bells off the ground. You'd reckon that Brisbane's had about 60% of the play in this opening term, but North are a couple in front. They've been more efficient up forward. Last roll of the dice, you'd think, for Brisbane now. Must take a clean possession. Carey at the back. Taken by King to centre wing. It's a long way away from either goal. Picked up by Rock. And that was a fantastic quarter of football. They went at it flat out from the first bounce when Clark and McKernan shaped up to one another. And at quarter time, it's North by nearly a couple of goals.
As you said, North have got the break on the scoreboard, but in general play, there's really been very little in the game. And if anything, probably the Bears have been the little better the team. Because the scoreboard's the only thing that actually counts in that situation. And just towards the end, Richard Champion was so good on Carey that I think Carey's just been shifted further up the field, maybe even as an on-ball role. There's a lot of switching of positions going on as both coaches are trying to get the positions, their players in positions that best suit their own interests.
Fletcher 12 possessions, Lynch a couple of goals, Carey a couple of goals. At quarter time of the Gabba, North 5-1, Brisbane 3-3.
conversion from North Melbourne from a limited amount of opportunities. I would have thought the Bears' defence has been really well on top, and North have still kicked 5 goals, and I think that scoring efficiency is one thing that North Melbourne are very good at.
So some turnovers against Brisbane. Centre breaks favouring the Bears, 6-3 in that opening term. 21-31 at quarter time. North going to the right of screen. Unbeaten at the top of the table against third place Brisbane on Friday Night Football. McKernan very close to the bounce. Fletcher got his hand on it. He had 8 kicks in the opening term and 4 hand passes. Chapman meant it well. He took a while to control it though. Then swept out a high handball. Fletcher again. Roberts is in the short sleeve Guernsey for the second quarter. Goes long. That's a good kick. Carey a chance. Oh, lovely attempt. Then off the ground. Rolling. Behind. He had a bit of a Carey, didn't he? Roberts had weighted the kick very well. Levitt and Akamanis. A couple of ginger megs on the boundary line for the Bears. Chapman to bring it back in. He's going long in the Clark direction. Scholl with him. Bartlett there as well. The punch away from Simpson. They pave a way there for Armstrong. And the kick by Rock is a behind. So North pepper early. 5-3. Brisbane 3-3.
Another example, Bruce, if you kick the ball long from the kick in and the opposition are playing the zone and the punch back comes, that's always going to be the side who's in forward line. It is hard to explain that, isn't it? Is going to be unmanned.
I think it's hard to understand no matter how well you explain it.
You get confused with forwards and defenders in that situation.
Well, they're still striving to get the ball clear of their full back line. Champion found some space, but that short kick was knocked away in the finish by Blakey from Fletcher. Fletcher looking quizzingly as to where that ball had got to, but knocked over for a boundary throw-in. Kennedy and Roberts. Roberts gets the front posse, gets his right foot to it, but it's chopped off and kicked forward by Fletcher again towards the wing. Players there just ran underneath it, misjudging it. Hart, nice little hand pass for Lappin. That kick, oh, it could have been a bit better. Lambert put Stevens down. Lappin's kick towards the 50-metre line. Martin out in front. Good contest provided by Lynch. Scott combines with Lynch. Still can't get clear. Now he knocks it into the open, but only to the advantage of the North Melbourne defenders. Laidley and King combine. King runs away from half-back. 3 bounces. He could get the kick away. Runs past the player attempting the tackle. That was Chapman. Then kicks to half-forward. And a player on his own is Anthony Rock, and he's marked perhaps within scoring distance. It may stretch the kicking capabilities of Anthony Rock. He's going to have to kick from 50 metres. Important player for North Melbourne when he gets a bit of the footy. He's at 8 kicks already tonight, 2 hand passes. Yet to kick a goal. Runs in very deliberately and kicks the distance. Got the accuracy. It's a North goal. So North lead by 3 goals there, 6-3. Brisbane are 3-3.
And I think, as we mentioned, that was very much set up down the other end of the ground where Mick Martin, as we said earlier in the game, will always play in front. And then basically the short kick came into his hands, and that's how the North defensive rebound. King surged out of defence, and a good accurate kick to Rock basically around the 50-metre mark, and a good conversion to goal.
And they brought Akamanis out for Kingley. Hard off the ground for Brisbane. McKernan and Clark. Clark almost snatched it. Dion Scott over the left shoulder. Oh, that's a fine effort by Anderson. Play on called. Fletcher able to get it to Voss. King again. Like a ball, isn't he? As he charges through and then kicks to Carey. At the back, McAdam controls it on the left. Well played to Lappin getting kicks. Bears trail by 3 though. Lappin coming wide. Now inside. Gets away from Rock. High ball to nobody in particular. Anderson underneath it. Should get a free kick. Fletcher in late. Anderson stood his ground. Deserved it. Kicks to centre wing. Mickey Martin the target. Danny Dick Foss at the back. Martin with strength, able to get it forward. Simpson goes to ground. Allison gone, holding the football surely. Chapman's free kick, advantage given to Lambert. Lambert wide.
The kick out in front of Lynch. Lynch with a little bit of space. Oh, kick well smothered by Martin. So some frustrating tactics by Michael Martin. Bears 3-3, North Melbourne 6-3. First goal of the second quarter to North Melbourne. Lambert quickly onto it. Little right foot kick along the boundary line. Oh, brilliantly taken by Darryl White. That is quite spectacular stuff. Unpredictable, you'd have to say. Short kick is all right, and Ackermanis is marked. He's still outside 50 metres. Now he plays on that lead, and kick was good. It's taken by Voss in front of Stevens. So the regard that North Melbourne have for this young man is obvious, because they've got their best run-with player, Anthony Stevens, tagging along with Michael Voss.
I think the difference is Voss is very good overhead, and that's where he'll probably trouble Stevens. Stevens will be able to run with him all day, but Voss is a very good mark overhead, and I think that was a situation. He had the sit and he had the front position, but he was just a little bit too good for Stevens in that marking contest.
Important kick in the context of the match. His 9th possession. Not a bad kick. It gets to the line, but just floats away to the left and through for a behind.
Lynch off the ground, and Lepic on. He did look tired, Lynch, a moment ago when Martin was able to smother the ball. Dipper.
He's doing some stretching exercise at the moment, Lynch. It looks like a bit of a hamstring here, Bruce.
Okay, keep an eye on a dip. Allison to centre wing. McAdam back. Able to balance up. Nice weighted kick to Ashcroft. Still a long way from goal. Brisbane not making the most of their opportunities. A crowded forward line. Lepic front spot. At the back, Anderson went without it. Off the ground, Ackermanis hits a post. Stiff. Unlucky.
Got an interesting situation off the screen, Bruce, that McKernan is basically at full forward for North Melbourne, and Matthew Clark's been drawn back to play on him. That's not a matchup or positioning the Bears would want.
Anderson very short. Stevens away.
Stevens quickly out towards left half back. High flow as Dion Scott couldn't control it. Archer falls over. Critical. Buse, little hand pass Lambert. In turn White. White is still Fletcher. Went for the hand pass and then elected to kick towards full forward. Leg! Oh, what a great mark taken by Justin Lepic. Is he going to get a 50-metre penalty? Well, Mick Martin, I think he's going to get a 50-metre penalty, isn't he? It'll take him right to the goal line. Well, it looked to me as though it was a fair effort. He jumped from behind. I would have suggested that was a mark.
I think Dennis Pagan normally interchanges any player who gives away those bad 50-metre penalties. Let's see what he does on this occasion.
Well, from right in front, he'll kick a goal.
McKernan, Clark back in the centre. Allison and Buse at the other end of the ground at full forward and full back respectively. Again, probably not the best matchup, Lee, from the Bears' point of view with Allison's pace.
Yes, it's something that Dennis Pagan will often do as North Melbourne coach, try and put an opposition defender in a position where he doesn't want to be. I mean, Andrew Buse normally plays back pocket at full back. He's not so comfortable.
Good effort by Dick Voss a moment ago. McKernan works to the front. McAdam round the body. Bears right back in this again. Voss, Ashcroft. Probably had a little bit more time in the end than he noticed, and he kicked away to the boundary line with Kennedy and Roberts. Dipper.
Yeah, Bruce, Allison is in no major trouble with his hamstring and might see him back on the ground in a couple of minutes' time.
That's good news for the Bears. Fairly at the back. Blakey off the ground. Oh, McKernan, brilliant.
Free kick to Fletcher, Bruce, being held.
Against North, but McKernan's take and give to Bill was outstanding, but the free kick coming back to Fletcher. Just a little hang on there. Umpire's right onto it. Fletcher to Chapman.
Chapman, who usually is a pretty good kick of the footy, to full forward. Great mark! That is... Well, you really have to have played the game to understand how difficult that mark is.
Well, he's running full tilt and he's basically launched himself at the ball, Lepic. Great courage to throw yourself at the ball like that, and he's chipped the ball across to Lappin, on a worse angle, I think. I'm not sure whether Lappin's in a better position or not.
Well, he goes short as well, and Lepic has got it back.
Can I say back where he started? So I think exactly where he is, back where he started.
Well, he certainly added just a little bit of life up on that full forward line and gives Michael Martin a degree of concern.
Actually, they've got 3 goals out of their full forward so far tonight.
Well, he's going to kick from about 40 metres. Should get the distance. Good kick, goal.
6-3, Lepic with a couple of goals since coming on the ground about 5 minutes ago. Dion Scott out of the centre. Bears enjoying a good patch here. Chris Scott to attack. Now besieged. Through it. Umpire was in a perfect place. Oh, King charges away again. Gets distance to full forward. Carey out of position. Allison to go. Chapman went to ground. Champion went to ground. Pushes it to Dick Voss. Under pressure. Good hands. Got it to Kennedy. Kennedy out wide. Lambert in pursuit. Bell and Scott onto him. It comes off Scott's boot out of play. 50 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Alistair Lynch. Couple of early goals in the opening term, some slight hamstring strain. It was a good move though, because Lepic has come on and kicked 2. And we were mentioning earlier that Michael Martin, playing some good football, has had 4 goals kicked on him in the first quarter and a half of this match. Lambert underneath. Ball out now to Simpson. Goes back, not taken cleanly by Laidley, and then hanging on for Shaw. And the free kick to Fletcher, again knocking up possessions. This will be number 17.
Doing a terrific job. Fletcher already played football with Geelong and St Kilda. Kicks towards the wing. It's bashed back towards the middle of the ground. Oh, Lambert. Gee, that was ordinary. Scholl thumps it towards half forward, but the mark is taken by Chapman. He's looking to transfer play. Kicks it in the direction of Champion. He marks. He's got McAdam running in support, but he ignores him and then goes straight towards full forward. He's got it again. Justin Lepic. Doesn't he look good? Excellent kick by Champion, but attack on the ball was quite fierce there by Justin Lepic. And he looks as though he means business. 2 goals so far. He hasn't been on the ground all that long. Kicking from 50 metres, gets terrific distance. It's a magnificent kick. It's his 3rd goal. So Brisbane lead by 2 points after trailing by something like 3 goals just a few minutes ago.
And I think what we see, we talk about aggression in football in a lot of different ways, but really aggression at the football, and 3 times Lepic, the ball's been on the air and he has just had his eyes for the ball and attacked it with everything he's got and taken 3 marks. Great aggressive football.
3 changes on the North bench, made in a hurry by Dennis Pagan. Matthew Clark out of the centre with a free kick. Transfers it to Michael Voss. Runs away, then kicks to Lepic again. He's going to get a free against Mickey. He may be a metre or 2 too far out. Goes in short, won't make it. Oh, brilliantly taken by Ackermanis. Scott to kick the goal. He does. Drills it home.
Believe it, would you? If you're watching this game of football, North looked as though they had control just a few minutes ago, but all of a sudden 4 quick goals to the Bears and they lead by 8 points. They'll get the ball away again from the centre, even though they gave away a bit of ground. Champion, the kick out wide, and that's a free kick. It's been paid to Chris Scott, close to the line. Free kicks are 9 to North Melbourne, 11 to Brisbane. High kick by Scott. Fifth in line, short pass, looks for Lepic. Geez, playing fierce. Dion Scott goes in, kicks across his body. Oh, can this goal umpire pick this? I'd say it's a goal. Have a look at it. It's there. Dion Scott. And the Bears supporters, 8-5 to 6-3.
Well, I suppose the end result that's all counts, but I thought really it was a bad choice, a kick by Scott. He laid the ball across his boot and curled it back when really he could have probably ran straight at the goals and you know, really ran in a straight line. We've seen this situation here. He really, anyway, the goal counted. Archer is now at full-back. Mick Martin being pushed away from that position.
John Northey looks on. Lepic's strong body there also held up Ian Fairley to pave the way for Dion Scott. Clever. Ackermanis gets it from Lambert to full forward. Lepic, well played again, but we're giving it away. Archer now with the job on him. I say well played because he's able to bring it down in front. Roberts back to Archer. North under great pressure here. Voss at the back. Blakey now running with Voss. They've taken Stevens on to Chris Scott, or maybe Chris Scott's gone on to Stevens, but the change has been made. North need a goal. Blakey kicks to McKernan. Should get a free kick. Bartlett was hanging on. McKernan at centre wing. Now gets the lead. Kicks to Danilchenko. Big fly. Couldn't quite. Roberts couldn't take it cleanly. Chapman doesn't quite get it cleanly away either. Lambert running with Simpson. Lambert sweats on him and Danilchenko under pressure out of play.
Probably first tactical win to the Bears that Capuano has been pushed into the ruck, and McKernan is now playing basically a centre-half forward. So that's eased one problem going into the game that the Bears would have had with McKernan's ruck and then forward line dominance.
8.5 minutes left in the second term. Nathan Chapman's kick goes wide. Stevens in front. Can't quite outrun Lappin. He was desperate. He wanted that football, and he got it in the finish. And he ran around the pack, got back onto his right foot, kicks towards half forward. The bounce was fairly kind for Ackermanis, but he's tied up back there by the North Melbourne defence, and he's going to be penalised. Gee, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Laidley, what could he do lying prostrate with the football underneath him?
Can't line it in the first place. That's what it boils down to. He may have been a bit unlucky, but if you fall on the ball, there's always a fair chance the umpire will pin you.
Well, the Bears get the ball towards full forward. White! Play on, the mark not paid. North Melbourne will clear. The ball with Capuano. His kick out towards the wing. Buse gets there. No, oh, he's able to run away from Scholl. Could give away a little bit of ground. No, hooks the kick in the macadam direction. But it's brilliantly taken in the finish by Capuano. It was an iffy situation for North. The handball away to Martin. Martin goes across the ground.
McKernan a target. At the back was Clark. Kennedy's handball wide. Ashcroft run down by Simpson. Gets a kick away, though, to centre wing out of play. There's Wally Lewis and Robert Di Domenico on the boundary line. Wayne Carey at centre half back for North Melbourne on Dion Scott, trying to plug a hole, and it's been a pretty big hole in this term. Both Ackermanis and Lepic have made a big difference since coming on. Scott's handball very good, taken by David King, who's been exciting to full forward. Chapman's playing a quarter. Champion goes with Scholl. Scholl in the front spot. Danilchenko. Well played. Chapman ran him forward as well. Back to Scholl. Got a kick away under pressure to the pocket. McKernan and Bartlett out of play. You might get one here, Bartlett against McKernan. Frustration creeping in there because the ball was done and Corey gave him just a little shove. Bartlett's kick back to the Clark direction. Capuano to go with him. Clark in the front spot. Holds his ground and takes the mark. Chips to Scott. Scott holds it up for a moment. Handball didn't quite get across to Dick Voss. Now tries to get clear. Does. Straightens the body. Goes long. Where's Lepic or White? Front spot Scott. Voss normally good in this situation. Often creative. Probably getting in his way there was Lappin.
That's got to be holding the ball. He had every chance to get rid of the ball. It fell out of his hands. Once you've had a chance and you're tackled, it's got to be a hand pass or a kick, and it was neither of those in my opinion.
So Voss may be a lucky recipient. Long way from goal. Front spot Scott, not paid. Carey was at the back. Capuano back to Carey. Carey sideways. Stevens.
This is Anthony Stevens for North Melbourne. Went to kick the ball, then decided on a bounce. Then in the finish, kicks towards half forward, and a stretching mark taken by Scholl. He runs on. Flying shot at goal by Craig Scholl. He perhaps stubbed the ground as he went to kick in the finish, trying to keep it low and missed everything. So it is a free kick or a boundary throw-in. The central umpire, Andrew Coates, going right back there. It looks like a free kick to be taken in the left back pocket for the Bears by Nathan Chapman. Not much room to move in. Danilchenko may get out of strife. Buse, well, he's an experienced campaigner, isn't he? Dick Foss, can he get past Scott? Runs it over. And eventually the Bears get it about 65 metres away from the North Melbourne goal. We'll have a throw-in at right half forward for the Kangaroos.
I think the Bears' speed is really troubling North Melbourne. The North forwards can't mark, and the Bears' speed at ground level in their defence is just sweeping the ball away.
So North there, last goal, 3 minutes into this quarter. McAdam under pressure. Roberts, well played. He'll kick a goal. He's got it.
Interesting game, only 8 points the margin. Brisbane lead. Clark up high, but Capuano. Fletcher grabbed. Was it too high? The umpire decides now that it's going to be a free kick to North Melbourne. The advantage is with the Kangaroos. The kick forward by Roberts to the goal front. It's punched away by the Bears' defence for a boundary throw in right forward pocket.
I think it's what we see in the two teams who are both playing well tonight. It's a counter-attack. The Bears have had a terrific 10 minutes now. North have got to answer the challenge, and they've kicked the one goal. It's been an interesting next few minutes to come.
Well, prior to that, their previous goal was 3 minutes into the second term, so a long time. Bell, left foot snap by Bell. He's going to score, but just a behind. And North Melbourne go up to 7-4. The margin is 7 points in favour of the Bears, who are 8-5. Their leading goal scorer is Justin Lepich, who's kicked 3. Lynch has kicked 2. And for North Melbourne, Carey and Mark Roberts have kicked 2 each. The kick-in is marked by McAdam.
To Champion Hawks. He gets a second go. The first one was cut off by Freeborn, but just getting a bit shaky at the back now, Brisbane. North Melbourne applying pressure here. Tightening it up before half-time again. Clark and Capuano. Bartlett. Taken away by Armstrong. Hart, who's had a quiet one. Bartlett tried to give it to Buse. Bell with another chance. High ball. Close. It's very close. It might be a goal. Well, I missed the North Melbourne player lead that got it to Bell, but it was a tremendous bit of football. In close quarters, a little handball. Buse couldn't take it. It was Anthony Stevens.
Just a great bit of desperate play, wasn't it, really? And North had to lift in this last 5 minutes because the Bears really had the ascendancy in that middle part of the quarter. Again, great game of football when both sides are rebounding from one end. They'll all have their good 5 minutes patches and keep at it all night.
So 4 minutes left in the second term. Bears by a point. Clark up high, but beaten for it by Capuano. Ball at half forward. Scholes fought back well. Left foot kick towards full forward. And a free kick. It's going to the Bears. Maybe to be taken. Well, Chapman took it, but it may go back to Dick Foss. So Danilchenko standing the mark. Dick Foss now comes to the near side of the ground. Ackermanis has taken the mark. Nice kick by that player too, and a good stretch by Voss. Fantastic stretch and mark in front of Blakey. Just a little dazed. And have another look at this. And then the kick towards the half forward area. Player unattended, and it's Hart. Hart goes in towards the centre half forward position. Up high was White, couldn't take the mark. Ashcroft overran it. Martin, handball back towards the goal line for the Bears. Taken by Bell. Little left foot kick is effective. It finds Rock. Rock goes wide out towards the wing. Terrific leap and mark taken by McKernan.
Gives it off to Armstrong on his wrong side. Champion in the front spot. Scholl. Now Voss. Out wide, good kick. Found his man in Fletcher. You know, when Voss gets hold of it, normally something good will happen. Fletcher wide to Bartlett. It's been a wonderful game. It's 8-5 to 8-4. Goes inside. Hart will want to go. Gets the handball. Fletcher back. swings it wide. It could sit now for Lappin. Lappin tried to go short, and for about the third or fourth time in this term, a short pass by the Bears has been cut off by the North Melbourne opponent only 2 or 3 metres away.
Michael Voss has been fantastic, Bruce. He's dispatched a good tag on Anthony Stevens, and now he's really troubling John Blakey, who does that defensive role so well as well.
Chris Scott tries to break a tackle, then sweeps a wild handball out. Here's King. Love the way he charges away, takes on his man. Voss goes with him, traps it beautifully. It was a tremendous contest. Kennedy goes off the ground. Fletcher Little give a beauty to Ashcroft.
Yes, Bruce, terrific couple of important possessions there by Michael Voss. At least the Bears are back at their goal front. Archer was run down by Lepic. The ball spills now for Darryl White. What can this mercurial player do? Give away a hand pass, set it up for Ackermanis. He'll go for goal from here, and he will kick behind because it's been punched on the line by Glenn Archer. Desperate stuff by the North Melbourne player. That kick only needed 1 more metre.
Johnny Longmire's at the back of the box at the moment. They're great full forward, and he's almost jumping up and down with that knee injury, but we'll talk to him at half-time. What a half of footy it's been.
The short kick in has been marked by Stevens. Stevens then goes long, out near the wing. Looking out there for Capuano. Fletcher productively to McAdam. Short kick has been marked by Scott. Looking to play on. Perhaps too far out to score, Chris Scott. Goes short. The lead provided by Lepic, knocked away. Taken by Stevens. Stevens just quickly out towards the wing. The ball rebounds for Scott. Can he get past? He gives away the hand pass. This is Buse. Buse one touch on the ground. Then with the left foot, kicks it to within scoring distance. But a good strong mark taken by the North Melbourne captain, Wayne Carey. Kick back by Anderson, back towards the wing again. But still the Bears persist. This time it's Clark, a look-away hand pass. Buse run down. Terrific pressure provided by North Melbourne. Allison, left foot kick to full forward. Knocked away. Both sides giving their all. Champion, can he be run down? No. Little left foot kick. Out into the path of Chapman. Chapman gives away a bit of ground. Back to Champion. Magnificent football by both sides. The kick towards the middle, and it's broken down because Carey is marked. Gives it to Capuano. Now Armstrong.
Goes for goal. Long kick's going to be close. Bouncing ball. Might be through. It is. North Melbourne in front. After Richard Champion's good play was all undone by a poor kick cut off by Carey, and this is a long, long goal by Armstrong, well outside 50.
It is really the Bears half-back line has been well on top, and really for North Melbourne to score, they really have to bypass their half-forward line and kick those long goals. Really, their scoring efficiency has been excellent. They've been down in general play.
Kicked the last 3 goals in this half, North Melbourne. After leading by 3 early in the turn, and they trailed by 2 and a bit, they look like they might go in at half-time with a narrow lead. Stevens held up. Kennedy picks himself up, Anthony Stevens. And there is the siren for half-time. And that has been outstanding football by both teams. Some individual highlights and some brilliant team play under great pressure. North with their noses in front, Lee, at 58-54.
Well, they're in front of the scoreboard, and as I've said a couple of times in the commentary, the scoring efficiency is really the only thing that matters, because the scoreboard obviously decides the result of the game. But in general, playing in most areas, the Bears have been the better team. But North have scored well from the times they've gone forward and have got the half-time lead. But the Bears' speed, I think, troubling North. They really are a very quick team, North, the Bears, and that is troubling North when the ball gets to ground level.
And when they were in full flight, weren't they flying, the Bears? Chris Scott drilling one home after some great lead-up play. He may be a metre or two too far out. Goes in short, won't make it. Oh, brilliantly taken by Ackermanis. Scott to kick the goal. He does! Drills it home!
King, fantastic first half of football there. I saw Alistair Lynch now coming onto the football ground. Looks like he's going to play in the third quarter. But when he went off the ground, a bit more pace was added up forward. The young Leopards doing well up there.
Yeah, I think what it did, it made a lot of the players on the field take a bit of extra responsibility. That's always good when it happens, with all due respect to Alistair, but it makes everybody else work a bit harder.
I really thought in the first quarter that the Bears were sort of trying to rush the ball a bit too quickly, and then they settled down a little bit, and in that second half was just a fantastic 15 minutes of football.
Yeah, well, speed's been written all over the game, hasn't it? But when the Bears did slow it down early in that second quarter, they tended to get a lot more support play, and they got points on the board from it. But yeah, you can't take anything away from North, though, when they had to put the foot on the accelerator.
It's a real... You really can't afford to make any of those little mistakes, being a small ground, as we saw the young North Melbourne player kick the ball about 60 metres to kick a goal.
Yeah, well, it's a long, long way, isn't it? But when they can't link up, you're handing virtually the points to the board on North late in that quarter. It gets a little bit sloppy for the Bears.
And the crowd, Bruce, is just absolutely loving this game. Every time the umpires make a bad move, they go, boo!
They're into it. There's no doubt about that, Dipper. Wayne Carey, thanks for that, Dip, and Wally. Carey back at full forward. He's... with Champion on him as we start the second half. North lead by 4 points. Capuano in the ruck against Clark. He'll have to be a champion tonight, Clark. He's going to have to take on 2 or 3 really high-quality big men. Rock round the corner, marked by King. Wide to Stevens. At centre wing. Now a high ball. Carey trying to get a run at it. Chapman was in the front spot. Champion under pressure. McAdam's stretch was good. Back to Lambert. Lambert half back. Squeezes it away to Lappin. Still only about 50 metres from North Melbourne's goal. Lappin keeps it nice and tight to Ackermanis. He was a factor when he came on. Not quite as spectacular as Lepich, but very handy just the same. Dion Scott, good grab. One hand against Fairley. Back to Lambert, linking up. Lambert short, so 4 or 5 nice little moves here by Brisbane. They've chipped it away. Lappin's been involved in a couple, and so has Lambert. Now Lappin centering, kick to full forward. White, Scott. Oh, good take by Blakey under pressure. Kicks to the wide open spaces. Buse sits and waits.
And the kick by Buse is pretty good too. He spotted Voss and executed that little kick across his left shoulder quite well in the finish. Voss is perhaps too far out to score. It would be nearly 70 metres. He goes short. Not a bad pass either. Lambert provides the target. Lambert still would struggle with this distance. Craig Lambert. Off that left foot. Kicks it to the front of the square. No mark taken. Fairley was the North Melbourne player. Taken away by Scott. He kicks quickly out towards half-back. Voss from behind Blakey. Lambert underneath Blakey. And the umpire will call for a bounce. 50 metres from the Bears' goal. 9-4 to 8-6. Early in the third term. Lynch and Hart. That's Alistair Lynch with Sean Hart. And Tristan Lynch was on the bench at the start of this third quarter. The kick by Ackermanis across his left shoulder to the goal front. A good mark taken by Archer for North Melbourne. Looking to move it on quickly. No one really to kick to, so he's got to hold onto it for a second or 3 and then kicks wide towards half-back. The ball comes to Ashcroft. Looks for White. Picked off by Martin. Handball. Dick Voss has a chance. Does fairly well. Can he get the hand pass clear? Lambert tries to get rid of Scott. Scott off the ground towards half forward. Goes past Buse. Picked up by Bell. Brilliant tackle by McAdam. Brings him down. And he's going to be rewarded with a free kick. And if that desperation is shown by both sides for the rest of the game, we'll be entertained. The crowd will be entertained. And the viewers will certainly be entertained. Terrific stuff by McAdam. He kicks the ball wide. And the mark taken out there by Big Clark.
Looking for Dion Scott. Robert Scott at the back to Armstrong, who kicked a great goal in the second term. Carey the target. Too good. On his chest in the end.
he's looking to mark body to body all the time, Bruce. He's just not really looping at the ball. I mean, he's certainly out-bodied Champion on that occasion, and I suppose he does a lot of opponents. But I think sometimes he's just got to forget about his opponent and basically attack the ball in the air. He hasn't done that well tonight.
Kicked a couple of goals in the opening term. This one from 30 metres out, straight in front. And Carey's got his third.
The Bears, these centre bounces. Clark gets it to Scott. Scott to Voss. Voss across his shoulder, taken by Rock. Rock's kick out into the path of Stevens. Looks to get back onto his left foot. Succeeds in doing so, and then kicks to half forward. And the mark is taken by Freeborn. Be careful, Nathan Chapman. Freeborn will kick in the Carey direction. Carey about fourth in line. Oh, high fly. Free kick. It's going to North Melbourne. It might be against Bartlett, is it? He's looking the anxious one. The free kick is with McKernan directly in front, only 50 metres out, and grabbed him by the jumper. Quite visible in the slow-mo replay. So McKernan from only 15 metres directly in front gets another goal for North Melbourne, their 11th.
To call, but a very critical 2 goals to North to get them a little bit clear early in this quarter.
Kicked the last 5 goals, Lee, North.
Yep.
They trailed 6-8 at one stage, so they're having a good run on here.
And they were 2 fairly simple goals in the finish in a tight game.
Quiet goals almost in the context of the game, but they add up just the same as something that might be special at the other end. Lambert out of the centre, Bears needing the next one. Dion Scott caught out of position, and Ian Fairley takes the mark. North with an opportunity here to put a bit of space between themselves and the opposition. Armstrong neatly to Stevens. They're both getting touches in this critical third quarter. Stevens high. Carey again the target. Sets himself. Champion, well done. Work to the front. Carey a bit disappointed, but a clear mark. Buse runs off him, goes wide. Fletcher. Critical here. Stevens too good on this occasion. Then a little chip to Bell. Bell to run on. Neat inside, waits for it. Allison, normally a fantastic finisher, curling back, it's another one, it's through.
From that distance.
Just a pity in a way that Fletcher fell over and Stevens standing up, and away they went. But still, that's what it's all about. 12-4 to 8-6 early in the third term. Capuano now doing the ruck work up against Clark, down to Fletcher. Fletcher's kick is a wobbly punt kick towards half forward. Chance for the Bears. Voss gets it back. Ashcroft across his left shoulder to the goal square. Lepich does well. Hart kick smothered off the boot. Archer. Darryl White to the square. Lepich. Has he kicked his fourth? He may have. He has.
Square in a bit of trouble. Winded after that one a moment ago. As Lee just said, doing really well, Brisbane in the centre square, yet trailed by almost 3 goals. Chris Scott to Ackermanis. First game for the season. It's been a good one since coming on. Goes long. Outnumbered White. Fairly at the back. Lepich is kicked 4. Left foot round the body. Darryl White on it off the ground. Hit the post. He's got the longest legs and arms in the world at times, Darryl White. He's an amazing player. Like a Spider-Man, isn't he? He's an incredible player.
If this had been a goal, the crowd would have come to their feet.
And Lepich again doing some good work up forward. Laidley short, danger. Clark at the back, well done by Fairley. Clark probably should have done better. Lappin pushes it to Lambert. Lambert could finish it off. It looks good. It's there. Bears back in business. It's been the story of the night, Lee, hasn't it? One team getting away and then the other responding. 10-7 to 12-4.
Yeah, sign of a great match. Really, it was a bad kicking situation there, really, although Fairley almost took the mark. But if the kicking doesn't go directly to your teammate, there's normally opposition players sweating on the loose ball. And Lambert, ugly-looking kick probably, but it's certainly good news for the Bears because it went through.
He's done a good job, hasn't he, Craig Lambert? They've got Roger Merritt on the sidelines and Alistair Lynch in a little bit of strife as well. But an experienced campaigner, Craig Lambert, doing very well. Gets it out of the centre again. maybe missed the target with Dick Foss. There's a free kick now. The advantage is with the Bears. So it obviously was their free kick. Lappin runs a little bit too far, but allowed to keep going. Kicks with the left foot, and the mark taken by that player that was in the hands of the trainers a minute ago. And could nearly be figuring in BOG awards tonight. Fletcher. Kick towards the full forward area. Lepic reaches, couldn't grab it. Rock. Nearly run down. Voss makes a good contest of it. Blakey off the ground. John Blakey, and fortuitously for North Melbourne lands with Capuano. Capuano's kick is smothered off the boot. Still a chance for the Bears to keep it in their forward zone. Bell for North Melbourne. Gets it back to Freeborn. His kick smothered off the boot. Back goes Bartlett. Could be chased down by McKernan. Falls over. Push. Free kick to Bartlett. Maybe a little soft in the circumstances of this very tight and entertaining game of football at the Gabba. Clark go after it. No. It goes behind. Scholl run down by Ackermanis. The kick to full forward lands with Allison, and he's marked in front of Buse within scoring distance for the Kangaroos. 12-4 to 10-7. The margin 9 points. Allison has already kicked one.
Will be critical in the context of this game who can keep their nerve under what is a real intense pressure. Bartlett's trying to kick the ball from the back flank into Clark into the centre square is fine, but if you miss your target, that's what's going to happen. You're going to get rebounded, and a bad error, and errors are going to decide the game.
And Allison may make him pay. He does. It's a goal to North Melbourne. Allison's second.
13-4 to 10-7. Allison with a couple of third-quarter goals. Clark still jumping high against McKernan. Stevens round the body at 50. McAdam was off. He's been called off by the umpire, but North Melbourne failed to react. Lappin the target. Good take. Oh, I think Rock might have damaged a hamstring or maybe even a calf. Goes to half-forward. Lovely stretch. Marked by Anderson. Handball to Martin. Martin away. Back into the centre. Brisbane with numbers. Bartlett gets a hand to it. Robert Scott tried to trap it. Should have been a free kick to the Bears. Lambert out wide. Gets to Kennedy. Now straightens the body. Goes long to full forward. Lepic, big fly. Short Hart round the body. Ackermanis, goal! Sheer pace. Absolute blinding speed there. 11-7 to 13-4.
Yes, I doubt if there's a quick elite footballer around than Jason Ackermanis, and since he came on halfway through the second quarter, that real zip in this situation, I mean, really, he just out-sprinted lately, and it was really an excellent, very, very quick player, and I think indicative of the type of young players. Lappin very quick also. When they get the ball flowing, the Bears, they are getting North Melbourne off the bit.
Anthony Rock, we thought may have been a little bit of strife just a moment ago, but he's still there, out of the centre square, manned up by Marcus Ashcroft, and there's a free kick. It's going to the Bears, so the boundary umpire signalled that. Too many players for North Melbourne in the square at the time of the bounce. Clark gets it to Kennedy. Kennedy's kick to the goal square. Not quite. Lepic. Sean Hart unselfishly gives it to White, and White's got the goal. 3 points the margin. Darryl White kicks his second goal. And there's some fire left here in this match. 82 plays 79. North by 3 points.
And I think really North are just continually having to play off their half-back line because the centre square situations. And Lepic is getting the front position. He's got that bit of extra speed, and he's showing it against first Martin and now against Archer. And he's not getting that many kicks now, but at least he's getting the front position. And the ball came down, and a quick exchange of hands, and through for the Bears goal. Ebb and flow, the game just keeps changing.
Stevens and Lambert. Ian Fairley to full forward for North. 12-7 to 13-4. Tightening again. Gee, Clark's played a game, hasn't he? There's a lot of players out there that have. Wins it again. Lambert again to Scott. Smother was very, very good by Stevens. Then wins a free kick. Wonderful play by Anthony Stevens. North often having to do it second go at the ball because the Bears are winning out of the centre, but they're doing extremely well under those restraints. Burl, well played to Scott. Scott off one leg to full forward. Fairly back there with Dick Foss and through from behind. So North have kicked 5 consecutive goals in this term, or 4, I should say. It's been a very, very good football match. Andrew Hughes decides to go long. Bartlett front spot. Scholl at the back. Rock, who's fully recovered by the look of it. Ridden into the ground by Akamanis. Might have been stiff, out of play.
It's a game where those little 1%ers are going to mount up, isn't it? There was a scramble by Chris Scott to get the ball away from the centre just a few minutes ago, and the smother just applied by the North Melbourne player was tremendous. Clark gets it down to Kennedy. His kick has been smothered off the boot, and it's held in by North Melbourne just inside their 50-metre zone. They lead 83-79. It's been a terrific game of football. Laidley off the ground for North Melbourne. Umpire Brian Sheehan to bounce just inside 50 metres for North Melbourne. Clark up high, gets it round the back. Armstrong, kick clear by Ashcroft. And the boundary umpire will throw it in. Dennis Pagan and Johnny Longmire, Tony Elshaw, Mark Dawson. Looked like Normie Dare there too. Did a bit of work here with the Bears over a long period of time. Voss, a big leap and grasp. Out of nowhere, it seemed. Kicks it across the goal front. Dick Voss, able to get the kick away and puts it on the chest or out in front of Champion. So the Bears are down the ground, out of trouble temporarily. His kick to a one-on-one. Martin and Darryl White. The bounce all important. Rock goes for the boundary line. That's deliberate, isn't it? Umpire Brian Sheehan indicates no siree. Throw it in, please. Maybe 2.5 kicks from the Bears' goal. They trail 79-83.
Martin at the back of Kennedy. White gets his hands on it out wide to Voss. Left foot, but just touched. Well done by Stevens. Armstrong quickly onto the boot to centre wing. McKernan, big fly. Chapman and McAdam. McAdam should provide the shepherd. He does. Chapman can balance up and go long. Gets it back towards half forward. The fly in the front came from Fletcher. Pushed forward by Blakey. King ran into Freeborn, then had the ability to get it free. Lambert brilliant to McAdam. McAdam swings it to Lappin. Probably should have given it off, actually. Lappin decided not to. Then floats one to centre half forward, and not a good kick. He had a couple of players outside that would have been disappointed with all of that. And Scholl swings it wide. Important here, Lepich versus Armstrong. On his left now, Armstrong. Hooks it round. Voss will have to go. Won't make it. Archer's got it. North with a bit of a run on. They lead 13-5 to 12-7. Archer looks for Carey. Stretches the champ out. And out of play. A long way from North's goal. Carey with 3 goals. Bears fans really enjoying this, the young and the old. It's 79-83.
It's been a very, very tight contest. First North Melbourne early in the game, then the Bears. Now North Melbourne at the start of this third quarter, and the Bears fight back. Lappin, kick across his body. Will be gathered and brilliantly taken by Akamanis. Little left foot kick. Out for Lambert, but too far. And eventually trundles over for a boundary throw.
An experience from Akamanis. I mean, with his pace, I think he can really break the game open. You can imagine if Peter Matera then would have just taken off, and he's no quicker than Akamanis and tried to run through the 50-metre line himself.
So Clark up against Roberts. Clark over the top, Darryl White. Gets it out the back, Voss. Gives away a bit of ground. Back to Chris Scott. Chris Scott straightens up. Off the left foot. Kicks right to the line. It has registered a score. It is a behind to Brisbane. 12-8-80. They trail North Melbourne 13-5-83. We've got 7 minutes left in this third quarter. And it is a 3-point game in favour of the Kangaroos. Anderson kicks in for North Melbourne.
McKernan off. Chapman. Another spectacular night. On a night where we've seen a Mark, I should say, on a night where we've seen a few. That was a grand stretch at the back of McKernan. He's a long kick.
He won a sun kick, I think, this young fella.
He's 60 metres out. This to put the Bears in front. A long way from home.
Get onto a torp, son.
Maybe he's the man for the moment. Get onto a torp. He has. He's leaned back, given it a ride. It won't be a goal. It's a behind. But there's nothing more exciting in footy than a big mark. And one thing that comes close is a big torp. Have a look at this stretch. McKernan looked to be in the van, and Chapman using everything to get him out of the way and take the mark. Anderson to himself in the back pocket, then gives off the handball.
Blakey it is, nearly run down, got the kick away. And fortunately for North, it lands with McKernan. McKernan runs on, looking to lift his side. They lead at the moment. The kick has been brilliantly marked by Champion. The pressure in every contest seems to be there. Champion's kick is not bad. A little bit of misunderstanding here between Ashcroft and Lappin. But Lappin takes it from Ashcroft into the pocket. It's beautifully weighted, and it's been marked by Fletcher. Archer, the player on the mark, but Fletcher, you would have to suggest, is within scoring distance. All he has to do is manufacture a kick to get the accuracy. Well, that was, in the words of one of our fellow commentators, centimetre perfect. Fletcher from the boundary line. Kicks, close. It's a mark or a goal. It's a goal, I would say.
From the pocket, Clark and McKernan out of the centre. Voss and Ackermanis, and then Lappin back to Ackermanis. Clever to Dick Voss. On to Voss. Steadies, then goes to centre half forward. White the target, can't get a run at it. From the side, Anderson. Good play by Martin to hold wide up. Anderson out wide, gets to Freeborn. Has Bicky running for him if he wants him. Simpson, I should say. Simpson at half back. Floated to centre wing on. Terrific take by McKernan. Starting to come into the game strongly. Nice kick too.
Well done by McAdam. If Rocket had been able to run away, he might have kicked this.
So Rocket about 55. Looking for Allison. Kennedy at the back. Only as far as Rock. Straightens up. Won't be a goal. Big fly by Carey. Force through a behind. Back to 3 points the margin. 87 to 84. Big crowd here on a beautiful evening.
Pick a winner, Bruce. Gee, the ebbs and flows have been fantastic, haven't they? In a season that in the first couple of weeks we saw some big margins. Peter Bell gets past, gives it away. Simpson, Allison from point-blank range has kicked his third goal. Not much cheering, but you can see there the scoreboard giving North the advantage by 3 points.
You can see another situation here, the long kick in that didn't reach the Bears' opponents, so all the North players are free and they've rushed the ball forward and kicked the goal. And it's really the way the game. North have to really be converting from these half chances because they're really having trouble from setting them up.
Allison with 3 goals, all in this third term. 13-9 to 14-6. Kangaroos back in front. McKernan and Clark. Brilliantly done by Clark. Got it to Kennedy. Scott to Hart. Hart tries to hook it back. It'll be close. It bounces. It's a goal. No, the umpire saying it was touched. That's the field umpire saying it was touched down the ground where Hart took the kick, because the bounce was a favourable one. 13-10 to 14-6. It was a big call, but he was very confident about it. Anderson won to himself. Now in trouble. Not trapped by Hart, who's having an average old night, unfortunately. Freeborn's kicked to centre wing. Both Chapman and Danichenko go to ground. King keeps it in. Ashcroft has to go. Clever by Simpson. Armstrong had it taken away. Chapman off the ground. Lappin hard at it. They missed it. Now Hart. That's a good give to Lappin. Straightens the body. Could kick a long bomb. Hooks it to the pocket. Leppich back there. Oh, what a take. Plays on and kicks his 5th. He's a good player, this kid.
He's been good tonight, Bruce. He's been good tonight. Very quick off the mark. Really, Lappin, I mentioned before, backing your speed. Well, he really backed himself then because he had about 3 Bears players he ignored closer in that towards the centre-half forward position and drove it in long. And Leppich really got the position and finished off extremely well. His speed off the mark has been a constant problem for North Melbourne.
Pretty exciting stuff here at the Gabba. AFL centenary year. The Bears 10 years old. Fireworks. and a fantastic game of football to follow. 94 plays 90. The Bears are in front. Clark has been leaping and jumping all night. They get away again. Ackermanis towards full forward. And a clean mark taken by Archer, standing up under pressure on that full back line. No one really to kick to, so he's going to have to bomb away in towards centre half back. Oh, what a leap! Michael Voss! Bears B&F last year. Kicking towards the half-forward area, and the mark has been taken by Lappin. There's some exciting young prospects in Australian football here at the Gabba, whether they be in North Melbourne Guernseys or Bears Guernseys, but that is a tremendous mark. The football is with Lappin. He will kick from about 35 metres out. John Northey and Scott Clayton down on the boundary line. 2.5 minutes left in the third term. What remains is Nigel Lappin's kick. His shot for goal is across the face. He does score, but it is a behind. So a bit of an anticlimax to a sensational passage of play there. Bears by 5 points, just over 2 minutes left.
What a beauty.
Superb. He was set up, Archer set up his teammate Simpson, but certainly it was a lovely timed leap and grabbed by Voss.
King on to Stevens. Through the centre. Champion runs away. Rebounds to centre half forward. Chris Scott will have to go early. At the back, Ackermanis off the ground. Rolling, rolling, rolling. Missing. You think we're excited? Well, Lee, we've been to a few games together this year, you and I too, Robbo, and I haven't seen a close one yet. This is fantastic. 14-12 to 14-6.
Friday night footy, huh?
He's had the lot tonight. Some of the best marks you'll ever see, certainly in the context of one game. Anderson told to go on. Darryl White and David King and Danilchenko. North hold it up. Can Fletcher keep it in? He's exhausted. Goes to ground. And he won't be the only one that's dog-tied at the end of this.
Dick Voss not bad again. He does a lot of little things that don't seem to be up to the forefront, but certainly in there, contributing.
Plays the percentages very well.
Yep. Boundary throw in. Not that long to go. Now a free kick will go to North Melbourne in that ruck contest. And it will go to Mark Roberts. He's at left half-back. 1.5 minutes left. Kicks it close to the line. At the back, Clark, a big punch. Effective. Getting through was Freeborn. His kick towards half-forward. Champion punched it, but not quite that effectively. Still, the Bears stand up under pressure. McAdam runs away. Handballs it in front of himself. He was grabbed by the jumper by Bell, and McAdam may be a little fortunate, but he gets the free kick at right half-back for the Bears. Down under 1 minute, so the Bears may go into the last term with a 6-point advantage. McAdam's kick goes back near the wing. No mark. McKernan dropped it. It's King. His kick towards half-forward. Is a contest here as a mark has been taken by Champion. So the Bears still withstand. Champion goes to the far side. Bartlett's out there. Can he gather the football? His recovery not bad. Gives away a little bit of ground to McAdam. McAdam does it again. That wonderful, or well, worrying hand pass it is. It lands with Carey. Carey's flashing shot for goal is offline and through for a behind. Well, Gilbert, I don't think you'd want to have a look at two particular replays tonight. One at the other end of the ground and that one there. 14-12 to 14-7. Brisbane lead by 5 points.
Very deep into this third term. North led by 10 at quarter time. They got the lead back late in the second quarter, the lead by 4 at the halftime break. It would be a psychological edge here for the Bears if they could have their nose in front at three-quarter time. Hughes going long. McKernan, big fly. Punched on by Lappin, who's had a big match. Ackermanis clever, then with pace, bursts away, gives it back. Bartlett wasn't watching, but no damage done as a siren sounds for what was once again an outstanding quarter of Australian football, a quarter in which the Bears kicked 6-6 and North Melbourne added 5 goals 3, and now it's the Bears by 5 points. And Lee, the big crowd here are standing. They're giving a standing ovation, I think, for both teams. Certainly they're supporting the Bears, but the man who turned 36 today must be really pumping here, Merritt. It's been a wonderful game.
Been a great game of Australian rules football. I mean, North Melbourne got those first 2 or 3 goals of the quarter, got away with the break, but the Bears just kept at it, and eventually have got themselves back into the front position. But really, the North Melbourne marking forwards just aren't marking the ball tonight. Carey and McKernan down there just can't mark it. And Champion's been a magnificent player for the Bears on Carey. They've been winning in the midfield where Clark's been getting first hands to the ball and they've been sweeping it away. But as we've mentioned earlier, North's scoring efficiency has kept them in the game.
Brisbane by 5 points at three-quarter time. It's 14-12 to 14-7. 14-12, North Melbourne 14-7.
Today's match is part of the AFL Coca-Cola Centenary Season.
And Alistair Lynch looks like he's coming back for Brisbane and probably going to full forward. Dipper, just thinking aloud, Wally Lewis has heard us talk over the years of how much we love this game. Just experiencing it tonight, he must get the feeling that we get. It's just a great game to watch when it's played like this, Wally.
Yes, it certainly is, mate. And I've been sitting next to him with Dipper educating me on the game, and it's a real eye-opener.
Now, Wally, we were just saying before, and only the pressure's on the players, Bruce. Both coaches went straight to their boards, and the right move has to be made by the coaches. And North Melbourne have certainly changed their players around. You've coached before. Whose side would you like to be on in this last quarter?
Well, that third quarter football is the one that really makes or breaks a team. We've seen here that there have been a lot of tactical changes involved by both coaches. If there was a real winner in that quarter, though, I believe it was the Bears' confidence level.
And remember, I did pick the Bears before the game. The people mind it. What do you think? What more can I say?
They're a great act, aren't they? (14-12, 14-7). Well, it's too close to call, I think. It's the best even money bet you've seen in a long time. 10 points at quarter time, 4 points at half time for North, and then 5 points for the Bears at three-quarter time as we commence the final term. So much at stake here. You feel that Brisbane has spent a lot here tonight. They need something in return. Lappin, Ashcroft, Scott's tackle okay. Lambert couldn't get through. Taken away. Armstrong to half forward. Getting it further down. Carey flew high. Hurt his head a bit with Archer. Has been pushed down forward. An interesting move. Rock well played. McAdam out of play. So Archer forward for North Melbourne as they attack right forward pocket. And we have seen, looks like Sean Hart, we have seen at the start of most quarters North getting away pretty well, then Brisbane having a lovely patch in the middle and then North coming back towards the end. Let's see if that's repeated. Lambert's been outstanding. Lappin's had a fantastic game. White, not quite. Mickey Martin just in front.
He just jumps from behind, reaches over the top. So much agility.
Could imagine in a scratch match of basketball, Darryl White and Matthew Clark would be some team, wouldn't they?
Oh, yes. Great athleticism and agility. Boundary throw in. Capuano gets his right hand to it. Down to Martin. Martin's kick to half forward over the top of Carey. Goes through to, nearly gets to the captain. From McKernan. Champion. Onto his right foot. Kicks back towards the half forward area. Knocked back towards the middle of the ground. Fox runs onto it. Gives the hand pass only to himself, but chopped off there by Simpson. Now Blakey. Blakey's left foot kick is high towards half forward. Allison and Buse. It goes behind. Bartlett kept out of it by McKernan. It spills to the back. Bartlett. Back he goes to Buse. The ball rebounds for Chapman. Chapman to Lambert. You're in trouble. Somehow he got away. And then spun away with the left foot kick to Lappin. Lappin has been terrific. He's kicked towards full forward. Last in line was Lepich. He gave away the free kick. And he's being asked to come back now, Ian Fairley. It may not have been his kick.
Great example then of Craig Lambert, a sixth sense. He was caught cold with the ball, but he just sensed that there was someone behind him earlier in play and spun out of it. And you can't scientifically test that sixth sense, but I think that was an example of it.
14 kicks and 10 hand passes and a goal for Craig Lambert. But this ball is with Simpson. Simpson's kick towards the wing. Great leap and mark taken by Clark. He's going to be important in this last quarter. He's kicking towards half forward. No mark. The ball spills to the back. Alistair Lynch. Chris Scott. Brilliantly smothered. Bashes it back, but it's fairly for North Melbourne. He kicks it wide. Will it sit out there for Ashcroft? He pounces on it. Can't get past Scott. But this is Chris Scott now for the Bears. He can get past. Left foot kick. In towards full forward. No mark. It spills to the back. Fairley's handball over the top. North Melbourne out of trouble.
Shoal away. Kicks the ball long to centre half forward. McKern in the front spot. McCallum at the back. A bounce. Runs a long way. Kicks to Clark. Not sure how you measure endurance fitness, Lee, but this guy's got to be right at the top of the table. He has gone against them all night and still going strongly. To half forward. Lepic's got a push free kick. He was pushed into the contest. He is a long kick. He's at 50 metres. Has already kicked 5 tonight. You see the little shove from Simpson. Well, this will test. He's a long way out. He's kicked 1 or 2 tonight, I reckon, from about 4 or 5 metres closer. This for goal number 6. 53 metres out. Gets under it. Won't quite get there. Or will it? I think it's a goal.
Listen, kick by Lepich for a goal. Dipper on the boundary line.
Yes, Alistair Lynch has just indicated his hamstring's no good. He's just taken himself off, and Sean Hart is back on the ground.
Sorry, I was going to ask Dipper, was he tight too, Hart? We saw him a moment ago.
Yeah, Sean Hart's okay, but he's back on the ground, Brucey.
Thanks,
six goals to Justin Lepich, but that was a magnificent kick from 50 metres. 2 number 16s, Capuano and Clark. Lambert provides the contest. Armstrong's hand pass. Shoal quickly to King. King goes down the ground towards full forward, backing back McKernan. Couldn't take them up, but he recovers. Kicks across his left shoulder. It'll bounce close to the goals. Dick Foss goes back, but the ball keeps spinning away from him. Over for a boundary throw in left forward pocket for North Melbourne. 15-12 to 14-7. The margin is 11 points, and Alistair Lynch and Dion Scott looking on from the dugout.
2 of their key forwards going into the game, both sitting it out. Rock, Buse, Lappin, clever, couldn't get away. Allison ducks, gets a handball to Rock. Well done, Buse. McAdam, handball again poor, couldn't clear it. Carey under pressure, out of play. Throw in. Probably the Bears' biggest margin of the... Oh, no, they were 2 and a bit goals in front, weren't they? As we look on for Laidley and Danilchenko and Bell. They were 2 and a bit goals in front, sort of 20 minutes into that second quarter, before North came back hard before half-time. Clark again. He's had a wonderful match. Buse and Carey. Now, Buse just paddling it, really, out of play.
Beautiful experience, Andrew Buse.
Has a wry smile as he picks himself up. Crowd again raw. 50 metres from North's goal. Clark once again. Armstrong back to Blakey. Kicks the ball very long to the goal square. McKernan getting back. Almost. He's had 3 chances in the last quarter to take marks. Bartlett, is it out in the full? It is.
I think that's been the story of McKernan's marking night. A lot of almost, but very few that he's actually taken. In fact, he's only taken 2 marks for the game.
Well, Fletcher kicked 1 from this angle, probably a couple of metres further out. Can McKernan kick a great goal? It's been a free-flowing match, but from North's point of view, you'd think they'd want the next one. That's across the face. Mark there to North Melbourne. Archer. So the angle's going to be better for Archer being the right footer. It's been very successfully over the years going forward, Archer. Often has ended up with 3, 4 or 5 goals in a burst.
He's been a valuable player, really, for North over the last few years. Pinch hitting at either end, really.
Improves his angle, hooks it around. Looks like he might have just missed it. He has. Important. I guess they're all important tonight. But Brisbane with that little buffer. 15-12, 14-8.
14.5 minutes left. There's Clark. What a game he's played. Chapman to kick in. Goes short and finds Lappin. Lappin still inside the defensive 50-metre area. Goes short again and gets to Champion. You can see the line there. So the man on the mark just outside that area. Still a danger zone for the Bears. Now Champion's kick will land near the wing. Away goes Carey, close to the boundary line, gets past, and then gets the kick in towards left half forward. At the back, Bartlett. Is he being paid the mark? No. Gets it to Chapman. He was in a bit of strife. Champion, you're gone. Little kicks out on the full. No, there's a free kick. And I would have thought that it was Champion's kick that went out on the full. The field umpire first indicating that it was going to be a free kick to the Bears, but it is with McKernan. And McKernan a chance to get North Melbourne their 15th goal. His kick holds up in the breeze. It spills to the back. Hughes runs away. He's got a player further afield. It is Ackermanis. Brilliantly balanced and very quick. Goes in towards the middle of the ground. Hits his target. It's Sean Hart. He plays on. Back he goes to Ackermanis. This is a good kick too. Able to run and not really change stride. Back in towards the middle of the ground. They're sharing it around. It is now with Kennedy. Right in the middle of the Gabba is Matthew Kennedy. He thumps a drop punt to the goal front. It spills to the back. Fletcher gives away ground. Sean Hart, cover yourself in glory, son. He does. He gets the goal for the Bears.
Dennis Pagan and the Brains Trust for North Melbourne. Great last quarter team, North Melbourne generally. But they'll need to produce it now. This is the Bears' biggest margin of the match. Clark again, but this time robbed out of the centre by Simpson. Floats to full forward. Take by Archer. Just what North need here is a quick rebound goal to tighten it up again. So Archer going forward, presenting some problems. He had the job on Leppich after Leppich had stitched up Mickey Martin. Kicking from 40 metres out, and that is fading at the end and missing. It looked good off the boot for a long way. So he's had 2 shots for goal, Archer, in the final term, and a couple of points. Chapman, good kick to Buse. The field kicking by the Bears has been excellent in this last term. Buse again to Hart, spot on. The little gift to Lambert. Lambert away. That's a floater. Fletcher front spot. Won't give it up without a fight. At the back, Simpson. Back to Anderson. Under pressure, Freeborn it was. Out of play. Darryl White putting the pressure on.
A couple of his teammates go to congratulate him too, because that was desperate stuff.
108-93. Looking menacing now, the Bears. It's been a while since North kicked a goal, probably about 15 minutes of football. So at the moment, the Bears on top. Another goal here would be very damaging. They're 2.5 in front. If they could get it to 3.5, you would think that it might just be a match-winning lead. That's a dangerous statement on a night like tonight. I know. Martin's high ball. Lappin tries to work to the front spot. Chris Scott. Little gift to Lappin. Runs away. Spears a pass to centre half forward. Unable to take it, and Blakey runs off Voss.
And Blakey's wobbly punt kick goes back towards centre wing. Nearly marked there by Champion, but he's able to recover. Plays on and then thumps the kick in towards full forward. Out in front. Whoa! Great mark by Leppich. He's raked it in a la Darryl White. And he has a chance to kick his 7th goal. And surely, well, let's not say it too early, but have a look at this.
I think it's always exciting when a young player starts to do something really special, and Leppich has shown glimpses over his couple of years with the Bears, but tonight he has really taken the bit between his teeth, and if he kicks this goal, well, it's going to be a long haul back for North.
If he kicks the goal, it comes back a little bit, not quite enough though. And his first blemish behind, he's kicked 6-1 in that scoreline of 16-13. 16 points. Roger Merritt and John Northey. Anderson kicks it to himself and then goes long, out towards the wing.
McKernan again got a hand on it, couldn't quite take it. Out of play. The best effort by any Brisbane player against North is Merritt, who's kicked 6 goals on 2 occasions. So Lepic is sitting right on that at the moment. It's a very minor stat in the context of this game, but it's been a wonderful performance by Lepic. 6 straight, and then just that miss. Here's Simpson. It's been all right. Kicks into the centre. Carey, they'll need a lift from the captain with a bit of strength. Blasts it towards the forward pocket. Dick Foss and Archer, that's becoming a pivotal duel in this final turn, and out of play. Archer's had a couple of chances to bring North back, and he hasn't been able to goal, but he is starting to win the football. Still plenty of time remaining. It's been a game of fluctuating fortunes. Goals have been scored freely and quickly all evening. Scott tried to get past Lappin. Carey had it for a little while. Tapped on by Capuano. Scott tried to break a tackle. Play on called. McAdam on the up. Handball all under pressure. Had to drop it in a hurry. Bartlett did the right thing. Buse ridden into the ground. Played it cleverly. The old stager won himself a free kick at centre half back.
He's been pretty good in a couple of tight situations, Andrew Buse. He kicks wide in towards the back pocket, and McAdam has taken the mark. He's got a player on his own further afield, and that is Dick Foss. Looked first to give the hand pass away, then decides on a kick. Out close to the wing. Oh, big leap and mark from behind, taken by Fletcher.
Exceptional mark for a player that's probably not even 6 foot tall.
He was brilliant early. Got the stuffing knocked out of him in about the second term. Oh, great leap and mark! This has been an exhibition by some of these Bears players. Some of the marking has been fantastic. This is Darryl White from 50 metres. Goes for the torpedo punt kick, and it's helped over by David King. A rush behind to Brisbane. 16-14 to 14-9. Darryl White.
No body use there, just pure leap and timing.
Gee, Mickey Martin will be getting sick of this tonight, won't he? Left, right and centre, they've been going at him and taking marks over him. He'll stick to his gun zone. The North stalwart. Laidley's kicking to the centre square. Chapman round the body with a high ball. Hard to take. Not for Roberts coming from the side. It was the best angle in the end for him. Gives it off. King running away to half forward. McKernan at the back. Hughes chipped in. Allison with pace. He's got plenty of that. Tries to hook it back to Scholl. Goes to ground. Couldn't quite hold it. Bears get it out through Lambert once again. Clark. Voss couldn't get a handle on it. Scholl was in there. Archer was in there. Kennedy was in there. Dick Foss takes it. Squeezes it out to half forward. A running ball. Ackermanis the man. Look at him go. Clever. Back to Hart. Right foot snap. Hooks are behind. Just had the feeling, Lee, that Ackermanis could have gone on there.
I think he, while he's very quick, I don't think he's that fantastic at picking it up at top speed at ground level. I grabbed the outer side before he failed to do that, and I didn't think he wanted to back himself.
3-goal game now. It's 18 points the margin. North have got a long way to come back all of a sudden.
Anderson goes wide. No mark. Clark is underneath that. Capuano the tackler. Ball comes out towards Darryl White. He outsmarts Mickey Martin. Oh, brilliant football by White. Lepic couldn't take the mark. Scott into the path of Hart. Hart's kick has been marked by Ackermanis. He's got to be nearly straight in front, although the umpire will make his angle a little tighter. And Darryl White, what he did back there on the boundary line was quite magical. Ackermanis has kicked one, and this certainly will end North Melbourne's chances. Ackermanis goes in and gets his second.
Out of the last 9 goals in this match. After prior to that, North had kicked 5 in a row. So Dennis Pagan now probably at wit's end trying to conjure something to give them a chance. Clark has just been outstanding. Doing the votes would not be easy tonight. You tend to go towards Brisbane all night because they seem to have the better players. 17-15 to 14-9. It has been an outstanding game of football. Could North make it a classic and come back against the odds? Stevens sweeps it out. Can McKernan get a bounce? Champion does it brilliantly. Now Lambert under pressure. Squeezes it back out. Champion has another go. He's in trouble. You can't hook it back. Got away. Stevens hooks. North Melbourne. Carey on his own. Takes it. Still not dead, the Kangaroos. Carey to kick his 4th goal. Wastes no time. Goes back. Has he missed? I think he has. He's hit the post. Too quick about it, wasn't he? And maybe too casual.
I think he perhaps considered that time can't be wasted. If you're going to make up 4 goals in 6 minutes.
Yeah, I think he decided he had to kick the ball quick, but I suppose the first thing, it really topped off what had been a pretty ordinary night in the North forward line, isn't it?
Voss at half-back, waits the kick well towards Hart, who's lifted since half-time. To Lambert, who's all been terrific all night. To Ashcroft at centre wing. Chris Scott the target. It beats him fairly to try and mop up. The handball puts Freeborn under pressure straight to the boundary line and deliberately out of play. Chris Scott to get the free kick. On the left boot, goes to full forward. Ackermanis the target. It goes to ground. At the back, King under pressure. A quick kick away, but stays in. The Bears are with a chance. It's tantalisingly close. Hart's got a bit of time to take Martin on. He does. He's at 50. He's at 45. Goes in low to full forward. Taken by Ackermanis. Hook back. It's a behind. 17-16 to 14-10. First game for Ackermanis this season. I think he might have played himself into the side for a while.
Well, he picked that one up with his toes okay. We're talking about when he was confident to pick the ball up off his toes at top speed, but when the ball was coming towards him, as that one did, he did it very well.
What about if it had been a goal? Oh, dear me. The kick in has been marked by Scott. Scott for North Melbourne, runs away from centre half back, kicks towards the middle of the ground. Free kick. And it's going to the Bears to be taken by Buse. It's against Allison.
Gee, he's done that well all night, Buse, hasn't he? Just played the percentages and won the frees in those tight situations.
You mentioned Ackermanis, Bruce. This kick's a beauty. Right onto the chest of Leppich. Ackermanis 18 kicks and 4 hand passes and was on the bench in the early part of the game. But this is a good kick by Buse. Good lead and good mark by Leppich. He's kicked 6. And he really should kick this. He's taken a very, very long run in. He actually marked the ball close to the 50-metre line. He goes long, hooks the kick on this occasion, and misses to the left-hand side. So 6 goals to Justin Leppich. 17-17 to 14-10 with 5 minutes left. So a big task for North Melbourne. They've got to kick over 4 goals now to win this game.
Anderson, McKernan the target, Blakey and Voss. It'll be an umpire's ball. So the Bears look home now.
They've had all the big statistical winners. Voss 16 and 10, Lambert 15 and 13, Fletcher 16 and 11, Champion 16 and 3, and Ackermanis, we mentioned, 18 and 4.
And Robbo Lappin 23 and 2. They've had huge stats. Voss clever. Left footer wide. Here's Lappin again. So much pace in this Bears lineup. Hooks it back, McKernan and Clark. Clark did well to bring it to ground. Archer gets it to Roberts. Free kick to Ashcroft. Advantage paid. Chris Scott, Ackermanis in trouble. Quickly onto the boot. It's close. He's got it. Another one.
17 to 14-10, 4 minutes left. Brisbane in total control now. Stevens, tackled by Lambert, gets the kick away. Finishes with McAdam. Decides to go to his left-hand side. The kick just trundles close to the line. Lambert, well done. Desperate stuff. He has been fantastic, Lambert. Forces a boundary throw in on centre wing. Clark is having a rest. Oh, good tackle by Fletcher. Too high, said the umpire. Free kick is with Rock. Kick towards half forward. Good mark. Stretched by McKernan. Hand pass to the feet of Stevens. Made it a little awkward. Danilchenko to run onto it. Flying left foot kick will land safely on the chest of Champion. And he slows it down. 3 minutes left. Impressive stats from the key defender for the Bears. Goes in short. The mark taken by Dion Scott. Away to Buse. Buse kicks down the line.
Darryl White, Michael Martin, and the thump out of play. Do you think that was the realisation they were homely with Clark being given a rest at long last?
Well, I would think so, yes. 5 goals in front with the 25-minute mark.
He's played a game and a half in the big duel against McKernan, and then had Capuano for a while. Stevens' little kick. In fact, Lee, I can't remember seeing a game where one team has had so many good players. I mean, 3-2-1. There's probably about 8 or 9 Bears that you could fit into that mix, and yet North for so much of the game have been either in front or right dead level.
Yes, that's true. They've just struggled in general play, but as we said earlier, they've been able to score from limited opportunities.
Lappin to full forward, fairly. Well played. Very well done. Rock's kick out wide, wanting the boundary line and finds it. It's had 17 kicks, Rock. In the statistics, Brisbane have had 60 more kicks and 50 more handballs.
And 30 more marks, so they've dominated statistically. But that's not really all that surprising. We mentioned earlier that North Melbourne don't usually get a lot of the football, but they've been soundly beaten here, particularly in this last term. Good stretch and mark taken by Bartlett. Now he goes short. Fletcher. So the Bears just playing possession football. Sweeps the hand pass wide to Buse. Buse left foot kick. Darryl White stretch, couldn't take the mark. Scott and Fairley taken by Anderson, then Laidley, back to Allison. Allison goes out wide towards Roberts, and Roberts has marked it right half back for North Melbourne. Under 2 minutes left. Short kick has been marked by Anthony Rock. He plays on quickly. Kicks high, out towards half forward. Leap and mark by McKernan. Gets it to Freeborn. Freeborn in towards half forward. Poor kick in the finish. Not really to the advantage of the captain. And set it up for Champion. And Richard Champion will be well satisfied when this siren sounds, because Carey, although he's kicked 3 goals, Champion's performance has been quite good. Kennedy for Brisbane. He's kicked towards full forward. A big high leap by Lepic. The ball spills now for Anderson. Anderson goes out towards the wing. Punched away by Chris Scott. Desperate stuff. Allison's kick. Goes to Bell. Bell to Rock. What can Rock do? Wider still across the 50-metre line. It's raced away by Chapman. He has grown in stature as the evening has worn on. His kick to half forward has been marked by Hart, and he backs himself, but couldn't break the tackle. Hand pass finishes with Laidley. That misses its target. Laidley again under a bit of pressure. Gets it to Anderson. Anderson for North Melbourne finds Stevens.
Stevens wide. Allison onto this. Goes hard. Could go over the top. Now at 50. This is his trademark goal, Allison. And he's hooked and just missed. So nothing happening for North Melbourne. He kicked 3 in the 3rd term, Allison. So the Bears will bring North's unbeaten run. Only 3 matches, I know, but they were on top of the table for the last couple of weeks. They bring it to an end and stay firmly entrenched in the top 3 themselves. Kick by Chapman from centre wing. Could Brisbane finish off with a late goal? Martin looked like he was held on to. No free kick. Scott under pressure. Didn't get very far. Kennedy. Then out of mid-air by Stevens. Back to centre wing. Chapman tried to hold it up. Danilchenko held on to. Gets a free kick. Advantage given. McKernan. That's it. Wonderful game of football. A brilliant performance in the end by the Bears.
You know, Bruce, some of the best performances last year for the whole season were provided by Brisbane towards the end, when I think they won, what, 7 games out of 8 or 6 out of 7.
Let's go down with Dipper, who's got Justin Lepic, who had a great match, Dipper, didn't he?
Oh, fantastic, Bruce. Well, Bruce says you've had a great match. Now, they've used you off the bench the last couple of games, but you've got your opportunity tonight, and you've bagged 6.
Yeah, well, I didn't expect to bag 6 tonight, Dipper, but I just tried my hardest. I mean, I knew I was going to start on the bench tonight. They tried out a new system with Alistair by himself, and when he came off, I thought this was my only chance, so I just gave it everything I had, yeah.
Now, Justin, you've had an operation on your knee. I mean, you were an ex-Hawk at once, and your pace is just fantastic. You must be feeling really good and fit at the moment.
I think it really has taken a couple of years to get over the knee. They say 6 to 10 months, but really mentally it's 2 years, and I think I'm ready to play my best footy now.
Not only your inspirational play tonight, but Darryl White, some of the things he did, and Voss's young mark, a great mark in the second quarter there.
I mean, they're all great players. We're just so lucky we've got such a young, great side. I mean, all our youth, and they're such great players. I mean, I feel great playing with Brisbane.
Well, congratulations and enjoy the great win.
Well done, Dipper, thanks.
Good on you, Dipper, with Justin Leppich. The final scores of the Gabba. It was the Bears in the end comfortably after a titanic struggle, 18-17 to 14-11.
Cats been playing the blues longer than me, all sure. I'd like to see that.
Clubs full of guys with great bodies? Yeah, I'd like to see that.
Unbelievable.
18-17 to 14-11. But it was a magnificent game of football, a real battle all night. You can see the breakdown quarter by quarter. North falling away completely in the final term, Lee.
And that's a rare occurrence. North really are a very hard finishing team, normally very good in the fourth quarter, but tonight the Bears had them under pressure for the majority of the night, even though the scoreboard didn't necessarily show it. But the further the game went, the further the Bears basically started to get the scoreboard, or the score on the scoreboard rather than just in general play.
They probably had the best half a dozen, maybe even more players on the ground. Let's look at some of the team stats. There's some big figures here.
Well, Ackerman's only probably played 3 quarters and he's had 20-odd possessions, and of course with his pace he just breaks the game up so much. Lambert was good all night, Fletcher was good all night, Leppich come onto the ground and kicked the 6 goals that finally got the goals on the scoreboard. Voss was good, Lappin was good. Yeah, I would have thought the Bears probably had the best 8-9 players on the ground.
Leppich and Ackermanis basically came on the ground at the same time. Leppich for Lynch and Ackermanis for Hart. What a move that turned out to be.
Well, it did. Yes, it was. I mean, they're a very quick team, the Bears, and I think that's the thing that really got North off the bit. Their key position players are quick. It's not only their smaller running players, but Leppich is a sort of quick leading full forward, and Champion's a quick key position player.
I can't remember the bottom one having 18 kicks, and that's what Champion had on the first page. As we go to North, we see a stark difference.
Yeah, well, Stevens, of course, he started off on Lambert, on Voss, but was shifted off, but got plenty of the ball. Allison got a bit of it up forward, kicked his 3 goals, which is a good effort from a subsidiary forward.
You were disappointed with Carey, weren't you?
Oh, well, Carey, I thought, and McKernan. I thought they're two North's main hopes as marking forwards, and I thought neither of them really were able to really put the pressure on the Bears in that part of the ground.
Lee, not easy. I'm fascinated to see who the Sports World votes are from you.
Yeah, well, I actually gave 3 votes to Richard Champion because I thought he cut the heart out of North by really, I think, beating Wayne Carey tonight in the majority of the contest, even though Carey kicked 3 goals. I think, really, of which of the midfielders, Michael Voss, I thought maybe when the game was really at its crunch stage in that second, third quarter, was excellent, and Leppich is the player who came onto the ground and kicked the 6 goals, and really you have to get the score on the board, and Leppich was the one who eventually did that for the Bears.
So Champion, Voss and Leppich getting the votes from Lee Matthews for the Sports World Player of the Year. A break, back with more from the Gabba after this.